Hello, this is Alyssa. I'm just going to kind of walk you through the presentation template and kind of walk you through the entire thing, and then also how you can get into the master slides to go in and edit them. So I have right now, you're just looking at my desktop, and I'm going to open up, I currently have the template file on my desktop as well as the image that I'm going to probably end up using to just kind of show you how to put pictures in. I'm just going to put in the exact same picture for all of them, but you can obviously put in whichever pictures you would like. So to start, I'm just going to double click and open the template file. So the way that this is set up, that you'll have one template file. Every time you open it, it'll create an entirely new presentation, an entirely new kind of PowerPoint. So you can just keep this one template file and reuse it over and over and over again every time that you are creating a new presentation, creating a new deck, or using it for, a new property, anything like that. So you open up into the template. You can see it here. I'll go ahead and make this mostly full screen so that you can really see what I'm doing. It'll open up like this. I have the template set to open up with these three specific slides. So your title slide here, your table of contents slide, and then just kind of the first content slide that you'll be able to go into and edit. So I'll walk you through kind of just what some of the stuff means and then go all the way into the master slides to where you'll be able to edit the template itself. So in here, anywhere that you see these kind of dotted lines all the way around like a text box or around an image here, those are all things that have been templated from the slide master. So these you can just go in and click. And for example, this one was 1401 Erie Boulevard. And you can just go in and edit it and it'll, get rid of that dotted line. If you still see a dotted line somewhere, that means that you still need to add content. So this was, I believe, industrial and office space. And so you'll kind of do that for each of the pages that you add from the template. In terms of adding the pictures, there's this little thing down here. I believe there's a couple of pages with the insert picture placeholder. So you'll click on the button and you'll likely do from device. So this will be photos that are saved on your device. If you want to look for images on the web or stock images, go for it. But I'm sure you have pictures of the specific property on your device. So I'm going to go in. This is just my desktop and I'll add the picture that I have on here. So as it goes in, you see there's a lot of kind of stuff all the way around. So in order to get rid of that and kind of zoom in on the specific building, we're just going to click the image again, and then we're going to go up and make sure that we are in picture format up here, and we're going to go over to crop and press this middle crop button, and this will let you resize the image. So hold on, got to lower the mic for a second. You can just hold the shift button and then click and drag. So that's the shift button on your keyboard. Hold that shift button and then click and drag the corners, and you can resize the image, move it around with your mouse, and kind of center it however you'd like within this frame that you can see. Maybe you want it up here so you can see the road, maybe you want to see the building in the back, or you want it just centered. However you would like to present it, that's how you can set it up. So that's mostly it for editing that main page. If you go on to this second page here, this is the table of contents. So this is the page that really the only thing on here you can edit from the normal slide editor is these numbers here of like the page numbers, and then also this picture. So I'll kind of walk through. That's the same thing there. You do from device, click your picture, and then go in and you can go back up under picture format and crop again and resize it to however you'd like. And you can either click off to get out of this, or you can click the enter button. Either one works. So the idea here, you can see all of these little dotted lines again, was that once the property deck is fully filled out, you can go in and add like O1, like say the executive summary. It's probably not on the first page, it's likely on the third page. So we'll say like O3, maybe this is O5, O6, and so on. You get kind of the point there. So those are done through here so that you can go in and re-edit any of the text or any of the page numbers. So none of these are editable from this page. but I will go in and show you in a second how to go in and do that. I will also note for you, once you present, the icons here are editable, or sorry, links. Like you can see if I hover over them, they'll take you to each of the like social media or the website. This over here is linked to JF Real Estate on Google Maps. This one is linked to your website again. And then each of these are linked specifically to your profile page on the website. And I'll kind of walk through in a second why I ended up going this route rather than having you be able to click immediately and go in there. So I'll escape. And then the last page that's in here when you first open up the file is just kind of that first 3-column text option with a picture. You can add your title up here, any subtitle, and then in here further text and information. I did have in the version that I showed you a subheader kind of thing of like if you needed a little section header within these blocks of text, and that was Museo slab, I believe it was 700. So I'll just go ahead and change that in here and show you how I did it. You can type the text in here. You'll go up here to where it says Museo Sans. Right now, this is under the Home tab. Hover it, go down, go over on where it says Museo Sans, but we actually want Museo Slab, and we're going to go over and click 700. The other thing I did for this little section header was bump the size up to 11, and I also changed the color to your light blue color. So that's just kind of the little section header if you wanted it, and then the rest of the text can go wherever in these sections, and you can add the picture here. Down here in the footer, this is where you can put like the information, the address if you want, so things are consistent from page to page, and you can see which file this is without having to go back to one of the first few pages. Additionally, up in this corner, this is kind of the section area. So for one of them, it could be like executive summary, and you will have to change up here at the top and down here at the bottom on every slide. The page number in this corner should stay the same or should automatically update as you reorder slides, but the 2 top ones you will have to change. You'll also have to make sure you put caps lock on as you change this one up here, unless you want it to be lowercase or you want it to be sentence case. That is completely up to you guys. So that's just kind of the first 3 ones in here. So now I'll move on to showing you how to get into the master slides and edit any of the more specific things that aren't editable from this version. So to do that, we're going to go back up here and we're going to go over to view over here. So we're going to click view, and then we're going to go here to slide master. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that, and I'll just give you, again, brief overview. Slide masters work by giving you kind of like a master slide where you set text information for like, okay, this is what all of the titles are going to look like. This is what the first level of text will be, the second level, so on and so forth. And then moving down to where there's the individual slides. If you ever need to change the size of this, for example, this is where you can go in and change that text box size, just doing Command or Control Z to undo. Some of these items in here, that one I believe is locked as well. Some of these items in here are locked so that you can't move them, but the easy way to undo that, this one isn't locked, is to just right click. So control click or command click, right click, whatever's easiest. And there's this lock or unlock option here to get in and further edit it. So you likely won't need to change anything on this first slide, but moving down to the table of contents where you're likely going to need to change the most amount of information. So we'll start this picture up here. You can ignore any text that shows up on the pictures. PowerPoint kind of just automatically does that in case someone adds text. You can also kind of ignore these. I have them locked right now so they don't move around, but obviously if you would like to, you can unlock them. This bar here is also locked. I'll show you what the unlock looks like. So it kind of just says unlock instead of lock like it did earlier. This bar is locked as well, and then as well as a couple of other things. In terms of editing content on this page, all of these text boxes are editable. You can change it to whatever you'd like. You can change You can change the order if you'd like. The one thing I'd say is I would not recommend dragging them and trying to add them to other places. I would just go in and change the text in the specific text box. In terms of people here, so in PowerPoint itself, if I were to hyperlink the specific text, it'll add an underline under it, and there's no way to get rid of that underline. So I went in instead and have hyperlinked like the text boxes that I have in here, to go to your specific team pages instead. So this is like on your website. If you go, I believe it's under About, Meet the Team, and then there's a list of all of your staff members, and each of these links will go to they go to your specific pages at this point. So each of these are editable. You can go in, change all of this text. You can add, more letters to the name if you want, just as an example of editing the text. You will likely have to, if you single click directly on the text, it'll open it up. Each of these things are grouped together though, so that they kind of stay together. You can click in and get in to edit any of this text. And then if you need to change the hyperlinks, I do have it hyperlinked in 3 different places for the kind of person breakdowns, I guess you would call them. If you click on the picture and right click and then go here to hyperlink, you can go in and edit the hyperlink. So you can see in here, this is your team page, or the team page on your website. I also have the name and this entire text box hyperlinked. One thing to note though, if you are adding a hyperlink, changing a hyperlink, anything like that, you want to make sure before you right click and do the hyperlink, there is no flashing cursor. So you can see right here between the O and the N, my cursor is flashing. Instead, I want to wait until my mouse kind of turns into this move cursor and click on the border so there's no flashing cursor, and then right click on the border as well to change the hyperlink. So once again, just reiterating, don't hyperlink the specific text. Make sure you're hyperlinking the text box instead. And this also adds a lot more area where, like physical area on a page or anything where they can click and it would take them to your page. So it makes it a little bit easier if they're on a smaller device or if they maybe have, fatter fingers or something, that kind of thing. So that's how you go in and change all of those hyperlinks. In terms of changing the specific picture, for the way that I have it set up as circular images, whenever you change the picture, you're going to want to make sure that the picture you're changing it to is a perfect square. If it's not a perfect square, it's going to stretch the image. It'll make their face look long or really fat, depending on what the size of that image is. But you can actually go into like preview, or there's lots of free tools online where you can crop the image to a perfect square before going in and editing it here. So to change it, I'll just click off so I can start from the beginning. You could just go in, click on the thing, it'll select the entire group, and then click again on the image. And then we're going to go up to this tab over here called Picture Format, and we're going to go over to Change Picture and go from a file. I don't have the specific one pulled up on here, but we'll say, for example, this one. You can see here what I meant, like this picture is very wide, much wider than it is tall, so it kind of squishes the entire building together. But it was very quick and easy to change the picture from wherever you have it. And then these icons as well are not currently changeable, but if you need a new icon, you can let us know and we can help you out with that and give you a new one. And then I mentioned as well, this is hyperlinked over here to your Google Maps page. This is hyperlinked up here, and then these are all hyperlinked as well. The text itself is not hyperlinked for any of these. It is just the icon. And if that's something that you would like for me to change and kind of have it be the entire text box, just let me know and I can either show you how to do that or, well, I guess you could probably figure out from this video as well, but I can help you do that or resend it, whatever is easiest for you guys. So I believe that is all the editable things on here. The only thing you really can't change at all is I guess nothing. Everything in here a lot of it is locked for the specific pages, and you can see if it's locked because they have these little diagonal lines on the corner pieces. But yeah, so that is the template page, and then I'll kind of walk you through all of the other pages in the master slides, and then also how you can get to them from the normal view and how to get back to the normal view. So this was the template page that I just showed you. If I go down a page, you can see this was that next page that we were editing. Once again, this is where you can change the size of the text boxes. You can go in, you can change some of like the text automatic font that you want it to set up as, things like that. Change, I believe some of these are, yes, like things like that bar down there are locked in place from the master slides up here, as well as this blue bar down here. So if you want to get rid of that on everything, you'd have to do it up here on the master. Yep, so probably won't need to change much in here unless you need to create a new page or something. And then there's just a couple of other layouts in here, section titles, this could be a gallery page full of photos, a blank one. And then I also did a duplicate set of all of those pages without the blue bar at the bottom. So this one is kind of just the clear, plain white, very clean and crisp. Personally, from a design standpoint, I do like the one with the blue bar better, but that is completely up to you guys which one you end up using and where, and you also can use more than one. So now that we've kind of walked through how to go in and edit everything inside of your master slides, we can go ahead and close them. Sometimes if you go to this slide master page over here, you can just click close master, or an additional way to do it is to go into view and just click normal instead, and that'll take you back to the original pages. Now, in order to add those extra pages that I was pointing out to you as well before, you're just going to go up here to new slide and you're going to click the arrow down, and you can see all of those, kind of template slide setups. In here you've got the white ones all together, and then you've also got the blue ones all together. So I'm just gonna, for example, I'll add a section header. I could go here and I can type section title, maybe subtitle, and then down here I'm gonna add 1401, just so you kind of keep everything consistent. And if you watch the page number in the corner, right now it says 2. I'm going to go ahead and move it down to 3, and you'll see it automatically updates with the new page number. Same with this one here, it's automatically updated to 4. So that should be a quick brief overview. Unfortunately, if you do add new text, PowerPoint does not let me set it up so that it automatically goes to use one of your fonts. But your fonts we sent over in the original email that Mark sent over, and then you'll just have to download them and kind of use them within PowerPoint and add them if you are adding new text. Usually it is Museo Sans 500. That is your normal text, body text, subtext font that is used on your website. And then for the titles or some of the subtitles, Museo Slab, I believe it's 700, but it might be 9. I'll check for you. Should be 700, yep, in there for your titles. And then the only other thing was colors. I have it set up in here so that your brand colors show up. These are the same blue. These are also the same blue. I just have them in here multiple times so that there weren't other colors that weren't your brand colors within the color theme. But otherwise, that should be most of it. You can just always save it. It'll prompt you to save as whatever name you'd like. It'll save it as an actual PowerPoint file. And once again, you can, if you reopen that new template file, like for example, I'll go over. So this down here is the one that I just saved. But if I go back up to that template that I first had originally opened, it's just going to open an entirely new one for me. And making any edits on here is not going to edit that original template. So that is the overview. If you have further questions or want me to walk you through anything else more specific, or need me to jump on a call with you or something, just let me know. I'm more than happy to do all of that. And I hope this helps.